Hey everyone, and welcome back to another one of our how-to instructional videos on our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be covering the MTNTK Performance Blowhole Kit for the Polaris Axys chassis snowmobile. This kit has a lot of features and benefits and is a simple yet robust kit made of all aluminum construction that will increase the longevity of your belt and your clutches, as well as improve your engine's performance. It does that by actively rather than passively removing the heat that gets trapped inside the engine compartment of your machine. It does that through a 12-volt accessory fan that plugs right into the main harness of your machine. This kit is $250 for the fan, as well as venting assembly, as well as the instructions and hardware needed to install. You can get a matching vent for the other side if you wish. This is an awesome kit designed here in Idaho and is a great option and accessory for your machine, and will save you money in the long run. So let's go ahead and head out to the shop and get started. Begin by removing the fasteners that hold the left side of the tank cowling in place. You will remove the clutch tool as it acts as a fastener, and you will also remove one dart at the top of the cowling and one dart at the back bottom edge of the cowling. Slightly flex the tank cowling out of the way. Remove the bolt that holds the oil reservoir in place. Save the washer, but discard the bolt. Wiggle the oil reservoir out of the way, but do not completely remove or disconnect the oil line. Disconnecting the oil line may create an air bubble in the oil line and cause future problems with your engine. Using a drill bit, drill out the two rivets holding the oil reservoir mounting tab. Remove the oil reservoir mounting tab from its place. Grab the new oil reservoir mounting tab and set it in place. This tab has 4 holes in it, as well as a hole for the bolt to go through. Grabbing a couple of rivets, slip through the existing holes that you just drilled out. Next, take your bolt and slip it through the new hole and fasten the tab in place. This will ensure that it won't move while you drill out the new holes that are required for mounting this tab. Using a 3/16 drill bit, drill the 2 new holes for mounting the tab. After ensuring that the tab is sitting flush against the metal plate, fasten the short rivets down using a rivet gun. Removing the bolt you used to fasten the tab in place, you may then take and reposition the oil bottle back into position. Next, take a tape measure and drill 3 inches back from the front of the clutch plate and drill a 3/16 of an inch hole. This hole will be used to hold the wiring harness for the fan out of the way so as not to get caught in anything. Using the washer that you saved and the new Allen-headed bolt, fasten the oil tank in place. As you can see here, I use a flat blade screwdriver to gently bend the tab up for holding my fan in place. After checking proper fitment, my fan wouldn't quite slip in where it needed to go. I used that flat blade screwdriver to gently bend it up, and if you do go too far, you may use a pair of pliers for bending it back down. The goal is to make a proper snug fitment so your fan doesn't shift. Grab the black wire harness retainer clip included in your blowhole kit and slip it around the electrical harness of the fan. You will then take one of the short rivets and slip it through the hole you previously drilled in the clutch plate. This will hold the wires of your fan up out of the way so as not to get caught in anything. Route the wires as seen and begin removing your side panel and hood from your machine. This is required so that you can route the wire along the over structure of your machine and back to the velcroed pouch holding all of the plugs and connectors for the electrical system on the sled. This is found beneath the tank cowling that you previously loosened and moved out of the way. Next, open the velcroed pouch and find the plug that says RCA accessory power on the end of it. The cap removes and you will plug the fan harness directly into it. Once the wiring is connected, be sure to close the velcroed pouch and make sure it's firmly attached to itself. This will limit the amount of debris and snow and water that gets into the pouch. You may then reattach the intake plenum to the tank cowling using the push darts and clutch tool that you previously removed. Be sure that the tank cowling slips into the groove on the intake plenum so it sits where it's supposed to. You may then reattach the hood and side panels to the machine. Using your hand, press against the outside of the side panel. This will create an indentation on the inside foam of the panel that you will use as a guide to center mark the center of the fan. Remove the panel and using a straight edge as well as a marker, go from opposing corners of the indentation and draw a straight line. Where the lines intersect will be the center point that you will drill for your pilot hole on the inside of the panel. Center drill a small pilot hole from the inside of the panel. Be careful as the foam may get wrapped around your drill bit as you can see in the video. Gently just pull it off and recenter and drill again. Once you have the center hole drilled, flip the panel over and drill a 3-inch hole using a 3-inch hole saw from the outside. Place the panel on the machine so as to check proper fitment. Using the vent as a guide, place it on the panel and drill each hole individually while placing a rivet in each hole. This will loosely secure the panel in place so that your holes are lined up. You may then use a rivet gun to attach the vent in place using the rivets provided. The installation of the MTNTK blowhole kit is now complete. Continue watching for installation instructions on the matching right side exhaust vent. Place the right side exhaust vent on the panel and use as a guide for pilot drilling your holes. It is recommended to drill one hole at a time so that your vent doesn't shift and all your holes line up. Once the pilot holes are drilled, use the rivets provided to loosely set the vent in place. Do not fasten it this time. Once set in place, using a marker or marking tool, mark the back edge inside of the vent as well as the front edge inside of the vent. Try your best to get around the inside corners, as you will use those as a guide for marking with a straight edge once you remove. Using a drill bit, drill each of the inside 4 corners of the marked square. I found that using a jigsaw worked excellent for cutting this hole out. Due to that, I needed a couple of larger holes to get my blade into the cut. Cut the square out. For reference, I found that using a coarse wood blade worked excellent for cutting this hole. Using a sharp razor blade edge, glide it across the edges of the hole to clean the burrs off. Once clean, place your vent back on the side panel and slip the rivets through. If for some reason you do not have the plastic flare rivets, a standard 3/16 rivet with a backer washer will work in its place. This will keep the rivet from pulling through the side panel. The install for your MTNTK Performance Blowhole Kit is now complete. If you liked the video and found it useful, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe to our channel. If you have any input on future videos, feel free to let us know. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.